FPL game week 1 is over. It went pretty well, I cannot lie. Game week 2 also starts tomorrow. Today I'm going to take you through my transfers, captaincy and team selection for FPL game week 2. What is up everyone, FPL Harry here, and today it is time, game week 2 team selection. We'll be having a look at how I'm lining up going into game week 2, any potential transfers, any captaincy switching, any benchings, everything like that. We'll be talking about my team with game week 2 starting tomorrow. Remember, again, it is a Friday evening deadline. Before we dive in, smash that like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new around here. We're going to try and hit 100,000 subscribers this season. It's a long way off at the moment, but it's a long season. Let's see how we go. A quick review of my game week 1 so far. So I scored 80 points on the nose. I was reasonably pleased with that given some of the decisions that I did make going into game week 1. Jordan Pickford in goal, only with a 2, was a little bit disappointing given that the other 2 goalkeepers that I was recommending were Johnson of Crystal Palace and Onana at Manchester United, both of which did keep a clean sheet and get a reasonable amount of points in game week 1. Moving into defence, Chilwell, Saliba, Estupiñán, all picking up an assist, none of them getting a clean sheet, but still happy with their returns. On the bench, Udogie of Spurs did look really attacking. He looked really good. Kabore again at Luton Town. They got beaten pretty easily, but he did look very good going forward. One of the bright sparks in a pretty poor Luton team. So happy enough with that. Then into midfield, pretty mixed bag in here. Martinelli picking up an assist, it was okay. I thought there'd be more goals in that game for Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. Saka did get his goal, he got bonus points as well, so happy with him. Brian Mbeumo was one of those players that I was so confident owning going into game week 1. He came out with a goal, and he had a goal in his most difficult game, and he actually matched and beat a lot of the other midfielders like Diaby, like Mitoma, like Eze that people went with, despite them all having easier fixtures than him. Then it was the double Manchester United, and they were a real disappointment for me, and I'm already looking potentially at some midfielders I could bring in their place, because particularly Bruno Fernandes, I was not happy with his positioning at all in that game. Haaland captain 26, Ollie Watkins in his most difficult fixture to open the season, got an assist against Newcastle, but still happy to own him going forward based on the fixtures coming up. So it was okay. It gave me a rank of about 750k in game week 1. Pretty happy with that. It's a decent enough start to the season, but you're all here to see what I'm doing for game week 2. So there are definitely a few players that I got my eye on going into game week 2. One in several different positions that we've got here. First up, Kevin De Bruyne has been confirmed that he's going to be out for several months by Pep Guardiola. This means that Julian Alvarez at Manchester City at 6.5 million as a forward could be a fantastic option. It also means if you currently have Phil Foden in your lineup, I would also hold on him. It generally boosts his appeal in terms of minutes as well as Alvarez. Both of them can do very well filling in that Kevin De Bruyne role. Now, I'm unlikely to make the transfer this week because it would probably be Bruno Fernandes that goes, or Martinelli. Bruno Fernandes is away at Spurs. I do want to give Manchester United just one more week, and Martinelli does have a fixture against Crystal Palace, whereas Alvarez does have Newcastle. I do just want to see exactly how they line up in that fixture before I go diving in, because from game week 3, the Manchester City fixtures are really, really good. Sheffield United, Fulham, West Ham in the 3 that follow at, and Alvarez at 6.5 could be a bargain. Next up, one of the mistakes I feel like I made in my game week 1 team is Jordan Pickford, picking an Everton goalkeeper. It might come good, it might not, but I am looking at replacements for him. Sanchez at Chelsea with Kepa going to Real Madrid looks like the one that I would opt to if I did decide to go and change my goalkeeper. West Ham in game week 2 away is not necessarily the best fixture, but from game week 3, Luton, Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth in those 3, definitely time to be thinking about those Chelsea defenders and attackers as well. If you don't have Ben Chilwell, if you're looking at Jackson as well, I think they're great options. I already have Chilwell, considering Sanchez for the double up. And finally in midfield, a slightly more premium option if I was going to sell Bruno Fernandes, if I was going to sell Martinelli. Now I'd have to sell them to upgrade and get Alvarez anyway, so I could do Bruno Fernandes down to Alvarez and then upgrade my 6.5 million midfielder to go and get Maddison anyway, because I'm not going to be selling Ollie Watkins to get Alvarez, so I have to free up some money anyway to go and do it. But I do think Maddison is a really nice option. Again, Manchester United at home in game week 2, it's just not the time to be doing it, I don't think. I want an extra week to know how the players on my team are going to perform. Then from game week 3 onwards, their fixtures of Bournemouth, Burnley, Sheffield United, let me use that as an opportunity to go and buy them. So, lineup for game week 2. In goal, we are going to start Turner over Jordan Pickford. Turner with Sheffield United at home compared to Pickford with Aston Villa away. I have Watkins in my lineup anyway, so I don't necessarily want Pickford to keep a clean sheet. And Turner, Nottingham Forest look pretty good defensively in game week 1. Happy enough with the fixture there as well. In defence, it is Ben Chilwell, it is Saliba, it is Purvis Estupiñán again. All having away fixtures is a little bit of a concern for me. Now, on paper, they look great assets, but I never prefer playing a defender away from home, of course, compared to playing at home. Chilwell, Estupiñán do have great attacking threat, but I'm not necessarily certain Saliba is going to get me many points this week, but I am there for the long run on the Arsenal defence, so happy enough to keep him. Then moving into midfield, it is the big midfield 5. We are keeping it at the moment. Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes have another week to potentially prove me right, but they do have a difficult fixture away at Spurs. Although Spurs did leak chances, hopefully there are some in this game for Manchester United. They also play Nottingham Forest at home in game week 3, so if they don't perform here, the chances are I'm going to have to keep them for game week 3 anyway, based on their fixture. Then we have double Arsenal, we have Saka, we have Martinelli. Expecting both of these to start again. Martinelli did look really good, so I don't think he will be dropped going into game week 2. Expect a very similar lineup from game week 1, but I do expect Gabriel to come back into that Arsenal lineup in place of the injured Timber and a little bit of a restructure in that back line. So happy enough with them. It is an okay fixture, although Palace did defend quite well in game week 1. And up front, of course, it's Haaland. Of course, it's Ollie Watkins as well. Everton at home, Newcastle at home. Finally, some home fixtures in my lineup because I don't have many because most of my players played at home in game week 1. Captaincy is still going to be on Haaland. If I had Salah, then a debate would be having to be made, but I don't. So it is Haaland. I'm going without any Liverpool against Bournemouth. Good luck if you have them, but I'm going to have to do my best to go without them. Bukayo Saka, my vice captain, the bench. Archer, Udogie, Kabore, of course, doesn't have a fixture. No fixture for Luton Town. The bench is looking really weak, so I do need my starting 11 all to start. So going into the game week at 750k, let's fingers crossed for a green arrow. Fingers crossed that Liverpool do not punish me too much because having none of them is a bit of a concern. Let me know any questions you have about your team. What do you think about my team? Would you use my one free transfer? Would you do Bruno Fernandes to Maddison? Would you do potentially Ollie Watkins to Julian Alvarez? Would you do some of these moves? Let me know in the comment section down below. Any questions you have about your team as well, of course, leave them in the comment section. I do my best to reply to every single one of you. Like the video if you haven't already. 1,000 likes is the aim. Good luck in game week 2. If I don't see you before then, like and subscribe, and I'll be back again very soon.